So what you doing? Checking things out? You are? Yeah, come here. Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. If you heard that bing, I'm chatting with my friend Char. It's been a morning, so we got back from, let's see, got up at 9:30. Of course, didn't fall asleep till 2 because two cats were chasing and chasing. Nala is coming out a little bit more than she used to, and especially if I'm in the room and she'll let me pick her up, I've become like her protector, I think. And so it was like 2 a.m. because Simba ended up getting the zoomies and chasing and all this stuff. At one point, she was out in one room, he was 2 rooms over, and she was just, I was out by her, and she was just bathing herself, and all of a sudden he just charged as fast as he could and bowled her over. I mean, just knocked her over. As soon as he got right on her from doing, you know, just bowling her over, I went, hey, no. He jumped right off. Of course, it startled her and she kind of hid, so. But it was like 2 a.m. before I got to sleep, and by that time, both cats. Simba came up, he was at the foot of the bed. She was right tight next to me, and they were both doing their own, getting their bath before they go to bed routines. And then they both went out, and I was on my back. I'm a side sleeper. I couldn't even roll over. I had Jerry next to me, and he was tight next to me, and I'm like, oh. So it was 9:30, and Simba woke me up this morning. So we headed up to, after my shower, no coffee, no breakfast, went up to Battle Creek to pick up the peaches and the pecans, and you would have seen clips of that. And then we came back home, and I'm just sitting here. I printed up the crochet along that will be coming up, and I got a cup of coffee now. He stopped and picked us up a Diet Coke and some store-bought little donuts and stuff. I had a really tiny one. He had another one. It's like he said, they're not as good as what you remembered growing up. So I haven't had really anything, so I might in a few minutes go make myself a smoothie. So, but I wanted to come on and I wanted to flip the camera over and show you the next crochet along that I will be doing is that mosaic crochet blanket. I just don't know which colorway yet. And of course my colors won't match what she has because they use Stylecraft DK and I will be using Super Saver. So it will be as close as I can get it, but you know. So let me flip the camera over and help me decide. Okay friends, apparently I thought I was recording as I talked to you about this, but apparently not. So I'm just doing a quick add in so you can see, so you can help me decide. So this is called Waterside Mosaic Crochet Along that's coming up by Rosina Crochets. And if you look her up on YouTube, she's on YouTube, Facebook, it's under Rosina Crochets, of her Facebook group. If you ask to join it, she's giving a 25% discount off the pattern. And then she is also on Ravelry under Rosina Crochets. I go on to the Facebook group, I get the code, and then I go to Ravelry where I've signed in, and then I go to her, I put in Waterside and it brought it up, and then I bought it with the coupon code. So you can do this anytime. So these are the 4 colorways. Lock is number 1. This will be number 1. Pond, river, and lake. So I like this one. It's purples and teals, but I'm really drawn to pond. And river's not bad, but I've done those color combinations before. And this one just has 3 colors. It is the white with the mint and the dark teal color. and that one's called Lake, and that would be Jerry's choice. So that's what I'm going to insert here, because in our sit-down chat, I will be discussing it further with colors when I look them up. So we'll see you soon. Hey friends, happy Friday. Happy Friday afternoon. I hope that your day is going well. Ours has been a little busy this morning, and now we're just we're tired, I guess, today. But I thought I'd hop on. Hi, Simba. Simba was up on the ledge and just jumped down. Where are you? He likes laying behind me, and I can't move my chair, so. But yeah. So, hopefully he's down by my legs. Hi, Simba. Hi, honey. Where are you? What you doing, boy? I don't know if I can. Let me. There he is. Hi, Simba. How you doing? Yeah, how you doing? No judging on the floor. It's got to be vacuumed. What? What do you hear? It's Daddy out there. Yeah, it's Daddy. All right. So I got Mr. Simba with me right now. Oh, he's still adjusting. Even though he can be a pea pod and chase a sissy and jump on her and bowl her over, he's still a lover boy. He's sitting here purring. So we left him alone going to Battle Creek to get the peaches, and things were okay, but I think he was sleeping. She is back probably behind the couch sleeping. But yes, he's a good boy. You're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah. So we came home and cut into one of the peaches, and like I said, they're still a little firm, which we're not surprised because they were coming from Georgia, so they probably picked them a little underripe. And last year when we did peaches, we had the problem of they would not, when you cut them to twist them to get the pit out, the pit, they were overripe. So this one, look at the pretty baby. This one, we sat there I cut into it, and it twisted right open. Hi, baby. And peeled just fine. We always like a little sugar on them, and so we sprinkled a little sugar, and they did taste good. So I know I was hoping. Hi, honey. I always kiss my babies. And if they're not used to that, they get used to it. So, right? Yeah. So it probably won't be until Monday or Tuesday, I'm thinking. Just depends on how quickly they ripe. What? Yeah. You see that with his mouth? We're going to ask the vet about it, but he does that. We're thinking he does that because he's still a little nervous. What? Do you want down? So, my plan with 50 pounds of peaches is the majority of it will be canned, because Mr. Jerry and I both like peaches, and I do like a light syrup, and I never drink the syrup, so I, just count it as calories for a peach. What? You want down? You want down? Do you want down? Yeah. Okay. So, but I think I want to try some freezer jam. I haven't tried peach freezer jam. I am discovering, even though I like jams, jellies, and we still have quite a few of jellies that we did last year, and I know we have a lot of peach jelly. So I'm debating on it, because last year Jerry really wanted all this jellies, and what I'm discovering is the man really likes the strawberry jam. So right now everything is, I've given some away, but the freezer jam is really, really good. So I'm sure the peach would be really good. It's the time of year we're starting to run out of room of our extra little upright freezer and then the house freezer. But I want to look, and I think I will make some frozen jam. And the other stuff keeps as long as it's not open. So and I will probably freeze a little, not a lot, but some. But it was just for canned peaches. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We will do, when apples come in, I would like to do unsweetened applesauce. We still have quite a bit of the sweetened applesauce, which is just cinnamon and sugar in it. But I have no unsweetened, and I like it unsweetened, and I like it the other way, but it's no calorie. It's calories from the apple, but it's not points from Weight Watchers. And the unsweetened I can use in recipes too. So that would be about the other thing. And then I like to dehydrate apple slices. And last year I did a bunch of the apple slices and put it into the freezer. And when they unthawed, they weren't as crisp as they should be. So I always have extra canning jars. I think I will get some canning jars, some larger kinds, and wide mouth, and I'll just fill up those jars. And then we have one of those pumps that go on the outside, the top of it, where you put the lid on it, the canning lid, and then it sucks all the air out of it, and so that keeps them nice and fresh. So, and last night I did finish the celery that I had in the dehydrator, and right now it just looks like green twigs. Because a lot of the celery, if you know from the store, they're really good sized stalks, and the celery that I grew was not quite that big, and it was some of them were about half the size. So, and some of them were pretty tiny, like straw size. And once you dehydrate all that moisture out of them, they got like little twigs. But I had them cut up into bite-sized pieces like this, and maybe I should have done a little bit longer or shorter. But I got a little jelly jars worth from the 4 plants that I had. And I'm really tickled with that, because now we can use that in our stews and soups, and he likes using celery in our tuna noodle casserole. And so all we'll do is, I told him, I said, we'll just take a tablespoon of that out and put it in water, and within like 15-20 minutes or so, they should be back to the normal size. And then he can always chop them up a little bit smaller if he wants. So, but it's just well pleasing that I grew something that we can use like that. So but yeah, I'm just trying to think. Usually it will be corn it will be one of the things that we will be freezing. Last year we bought a bushel. I think I keep notes on that. We bought a bushel of corn, sweet corn, and we froze it. And I think we are down to 4 pints, freezer bags, 4 or 5. And a pint usually will do us a couple meals. So that would be about the only other thing. And then if I see something else, who knows? That's the one thing about Mr. Jerry. He goes along with my crazy things. I mean, last year I had this wild hair of, I want to do a garden. And I picked a spot. And it was the only spot it really could be that he would sit there and say yes to. And we put a bunch of money into starting that. And then at the end of the year, you know, when he saw how, you know, it didn't go to all weeds and waste. And I said something about, because we did potatoes for the first time last year, and he really liked the potatoes. And so then he's like, well, if we expand it and for the potatoes. So we doubled the size of it. And this year, I learned from last year, you know, as you're a new gardener, you see all these things and you're like, oh, I want to try growing this. Do we like to eat it? No, but I want to try growing it. This year, it was more of, let's grow what we will eat. Of course, we're not big garlic eaters and we're not big onion eaters, but my onions are not going to come out this year. And the garlic, I will probably have to, we're supposed to get rain today and tomorrow and Friday, Saturday. And so I'm thinking Monday or Tuesday I'll have to harvest the garlic and let it dry and stuff. The good thing about it is I can use the cloves of garlic when I do my refrigerator pickles and my pickle relish. I could do that too. Instead of using the garlic powder, I can use cloves. So, but yeah, my hope this year out of the garden was to be able to have cabbage that he's rubbing on my legs, is cabbage that I could sit there and use and chop up and eat fresh, or do coleslaw or stuff like that. And the cauliflower was for fresh eating too. The green beans, if we get any, is going to all go towards in the freezer. And the peas, I got enough for a serving of peas. So the next time that he makes tuna casserole, we always put peas in it. We'll just cook up the peas and then add it to the casserole. And the cantaloupe, if I get any, will be for fresh eating. The potatoes, we eat a lot of potatoes, and so that's why I try to not have a sandwich at lunch as often, because that way I don't feel as bad having the potato at night. So, what you doing? Mr. Jerry has his headphones on, and not Nala. Simba is hollering, so just a second. Okay, and Simba's back with me again. He's in here, Jerry, just rubbing on my legs. So, Jerry isn't rubbing on my legs. Simba is rubbing on my legs. If we were first married, but anywho, TMI. So, yeah, as far as the garden and everything, the potatoes, the garlic, The butternut squash, he's the only one that does that, but like I said, that usually keeps pretty well, and the acorn does too. And peppers we're just planning on, I'm planning on the smaller ones for fresh eating, and of course some of the bigger ones, but the majority of them, if I get quite a bit, hopefully, if not, it'll be fine. I'm going to freeze them. I'll just wash them up, slice them up, and freeze them. So, but like I said, the freezer is bulging because, oh, yesterday on his way back from his errands by Byron Center and Grand Rapids and all that stuff, where we got our chicken before, they were having another chicken sale up there, chicken breast sale, and it was, what you doing, Simba? What's he doing? It was a 5-pound bag for $10, I think it was. And so he ended up getting 4 of them. So we're well stocked for the next several months on chicken breasts. We've had them before the last time, and they're really good. And they're not like when you go to the store that you buy the big bone-in kind. You know, they're very plump and stuff. They're more thinner style. So, but they taste really well, and they work up great for chicken nuggets, chicken tenders. They work great. We're gonna try the McDonald's snack wrap. We've got the Mission style Ole shells, and we'll just grill up a couple of those and then just slice them up. And then I have my ranch dressing, and we have lettuce and cheese. You know, he's got Colby Jack cheese and regular cheese that we'll just shred, and that will be our wrap. Probably much healthier for us. But and he makes the best chicken tenders and chicken nuggets. What you doing, baby? Come here. Come here. So they can't see you like you're out of frame. But anyways, this vlog will get up a little later than normal. I've been trying to put it up in the middle of the day because that way nighttime for me, I used to put up around just around supper time, and it was rushing for supper and then afterwards, and I can stop during the day hours and do a little recording and then throw everything together and get it uploaded. So oh, and on the new crochet along that I asked for your help, Mr. Jerry likes the last one, which was the green, I think it's Lake. It was 2 greens. And so, oh, my ear itches today. So basically the first one and the second one and the last one. And what I'll do is, as I'm talking, I will pop up the colors, because in the picture when it prints up it's kind of dull colors, when in reality they're brighter colors. So the first one that I was thinking that had the purples in it with the creams and all that stuff, those colors are still a little muted, and I tend to lean towards those colors. And so, but I do like the look of those. Now the second one is not bad either. It's just that he's going to be rubbing on the camera, so if it jiggles. It's just that I've done some of those colors in other ones before. What's the matter? Come here. What's the matter? But they're all pretty colors. And the last one, the very first time Mr. Jerry saw all 4 pictures together, he said, oh, he said, the one that he liked was the one that that he would never have picked, which was the last one, which was the teal green and a mint and a white. Is that better? Is that better? So, of course, but then he tells me, you pick out what you like, because you're going to be doing it. Well, part of me is like, I really like the second one, but I never know what to get him for Christmas and stuff. And he doesn't pick out blanket colors and stuff too much like that he says, ooh, I like this one. And I was thinking, well, maybe I should do that for him. Now, he won't use it or anything, but it could be left out on the back of his couch, because he does like having a blanket on the back of his couch. I think it was just because that's what his mom always did. So, what you doing? Hmm? And so my thought was maybe I should do that one, but y'all still tell me what if you could crochet, or if you do, which one would you pick out for you? You know, so what? But I'll decide. I'll just think on it. It doesn't start until August 8th. And so I got time to work on the other one. And the other one I got the what she calls donuts, and I call life rings. I got those done, and now I'm on the ice cream cone part. And then there is, after that, there's like the beach houses, I think it is. And then there's like kites and stuff. I mean, I'm getting really close. But then the only thing about this one, I love her borders because they're the envelope style, but you basically crochet the border twice, because you crochet around the front side of it, so many rows, and then you flip it around and you do the exact same thing. And then when you've got two flaps, all the strings that you've had off the side, you just cut them down, usually to about, you know, an inch or inch and a half if they're super long. And then you take another color and you're just basically slip stitching that through those, and it encases everything. So it's a really neat concept, and I've done them before, but they take a while. So yeah, but it's getting closer. And oh, I have to tell you, yesterday when I said I got that embroidery girl done, the first one, and then I showed you the second one that I was going to do, the one that says Bliss. I did start that last night, but when I washed out the other one that was called Create, I went to the peel and stick tear away that's on it, which is a washable. You put it under lukewarm water and it all dissolves, and you know when it's gone, because it gets a little slimy and on your fingers until it's all gone. And I had hunted this up and down, because my biggest fear is I think I'm done, but I forgot something. And guess what happened? I looked that picture over so many times going, nope, I've covered everything. And I got her all washed and everything and rolled up in a towel, and to get the excess water out, I laid it out on the table, opened it up, and I went, you're missing your right arm. And all the markings are gone. So last night, it was all, I mean, it was still kind of wrinkly, but it was dry. And I was able to take my fusion marker and look at the left side and, you know, just draw it in. And then I went and I stitched it in. So she's all whole. So, yeah, but And then all I did was crochet on that mosaic because I wanted to get it going, get it up enough. And I'll probably go back out after I edit all this, and I'll work on that mosaic blanket a little bit longer to get at least to the ice cream cone top, or till I get bored with it, and then I'll pick up something to do. But other than that, remember, I will not be on Saturday or Sunday, and I will be back hopefully on Monday. And we have no special, well, Mr. Jerry's got, I think, a auction he'd like to go to, but I'm just going to be home, just doing whatever needs to be doing. And I'm just, hopefully you saw all the clips, because I try to put the clips ahead now so that people will stay on to listen, so that I get a longer algorithm with Facebook with YouTube, so that more of you get to see it. Because sometimes I think that you can't watch every day, because I do 5 days a week, and for some reason sometimes maybe the notifications are put on for you and you don't get it. So, but last night Ms. Nala came out, and I was in the sunroom, and that's our furnace coming on for the air, not the heat, my friend down under. And she came out in the sunroom, and you know, it was just a really short clip, and she would have stayed longer, except for I moved in my chair and then she took off. But last night we noticed that with her, she when she came out, well, I had to find her again. She was behind the couch, and you know, when she came out, but she is just such a talkative little girl, and she just, you know, throws herself on the floor, and you know, like I said, you know, when they flap down and they roll back and forth, and she just is talking, and she wants you to pet her, and you pet her and pet her. And then she wants me to pick her up, because she kind of arches a little bit, and she's getting more and more comfortable with me doing that. And then I usually take her out by her food so she can see it. Then I stand guard by her, and like I don't know if I said this earlier or not, but last night when I did that, they both had food, and their dishes are enough apart that they're not like touching each other close. And he came out as she was eating, and so he was eating his dry, he just sat right there and he nibbled on the dry food, and she was just eating her food. But she kept looking up, and she'd look at him, and then she would look up to see if I was there. And so I just kind of stood there, and then he walked away. Of course, you know, he gets a little irritated, but because his tail will be a whipping and stuff. But last night he was just a little terror. He was just chasing her all over when we've gone to bed. And we, Jerry had found some spray. Just a second, I'm going to see if we can catch him. We saw you. That's how he gets up there. He found this calming spray at the pet store that is just water and fragrance and a couple other ingredients that you know what they are. The last two probably has some little calming chemical in it, but it was like the very last two, and there's only like 4 or 5 ingredients in the whole thing. And it does not sedate them, and it is made for anxiety. It is made for, like, if you have to leave the house for a while and they get separation anxiety. If you're going to the vet, you can spray it in their crate and stuff. It lasts about 4 hours. You don't spray it on them, you just spray it in the area. So I sprayed only half of a pump, because I wasn't for sure how it was going to work last night. And I told Jerry, I said, as soon as I brought the bottle out, he saw the bottle and he kind of hissed, and that told me he's been sprayed before. And of course I wasn't pointing it at him, I was pointing it away. And I didn't like the smell. I did not. It had a cinnamon smell, but I didn't care for the smell. And as muggy as it was last night, I opened up our bedroom door because the smell was starting to come in there. I opened up the kitchen window because he started gagging. I mean, like he was going to be sick. And she's just laying there like no big deal, you know. But like I said earlier, they both came in bed and jumped up and, you know, did and acted just like normal cats. And then this morning he just started, you know, laying on the floor like she does and flopping back and forth. And but with him, when he gets a little excited like that, you gotta be careful, because as you're petting him, he wants to play and he still has back claws. So we're just remembering that he just is just as new as she is, just because he's out with us more. And so they all have to learn their little adjustments and stuff. But she was out, cat hair. She was out more last night in Jerry's area and everything. But you know, someday. Just someday. But for him to let me hold him when I was talking to you and kiss on him, that was a new too, because he usually doesn't let you pick him up. And Jerry is the one who picks him up quite a bit, and I pick him up whenever I can. But Jerry picks him up quite a bit, and we've learned that you have to pick him up and scoop his back feet, because he panics and he'll just go like this into you. So that was really nice what he let me do. But anyways, this is super long, and cat hair. That's what you get when you kiss a cat. So Mr. Jerry's gone out into his little breezeway garage area that he can work on all his stuff, and I need to go back out and pick my feet up, because my morning started with a Diet Coke and one little chocolate covered donut, those little donuts from Hostess, you know, that you get like 6 of them. He bought that, and then he bought a Hostess 2 blueberry glaze donuts. And when I saw that, he bought those for me, and he was going to have the others. And they didn't look good to me. And I opened it up, but I didn't realize he bought for each other until afterwards. And I opened one up, and I gave him the blueberry one. And he goes, well, they didn't have much choice. Well, he stopped at a gas station. Well, no. And it was late enough that fast food places weren't late enough, you know, like 10 o'clock. Weren't serving breakfast, and the way my head felt, I did not want to go inside a sit-down restaurant. And we had from a certain time to a certain time to pick up those peaches. And if we would have went to a restaurant at 10 a.m., you know it's going to be close to 11. Then we're cutting our time short, because they're only there from 10 a.m. to 11:30. So we'll just go out for breakfast another time. But he said that he ate that blueberry donut. He says it wasn't that good, and I'm glad I didn't eat it. And I just had the little one, and it wasn't that good either. But and then my Diet Coke. And so I came home, and when he stopped to the dollar store to get some milk, I said, pick me up a bag of combos, and he picked me up 2, and combos tend to be my little kryptonite. And I opened up the one, and I just was out there you know, just eating away. And so, but I had a smoothie for my lunch, and not for sure, maybe tacos will be for supper because we got hamburg. But the thing is that he hasn't been very hungry, and so about the time I realized that it's supper time, like last night, it was 6:30, 6:45, I said, I take it you're not hungry. Well, I got busy, and I says, I take it you're not hungry. Well, I was going to ask, you know, can I make you a grilled cheese? I said, you don't have to make me anything. I know how to fix myself something. It's just that I need to know so I'm not eating at 7 o'clock. So I decided I was going to have cereal. And I got out some Lucky Charms to have some cereal and opened up the milk. And he bought that not at our Mooville place, but at another place in town. And he had drank some of it for breakfast and for lunch. And when I opened it up around the top, it looked like, you know, if you get creamed milk, how thick it is around the top. Well, that's kind of what it looked like there, but this is 2% milk. It shouldn't be cream. And I asked him about that, and he came out and looked at it. And so he put the top on. Here he is. He's shaking it, shaking it. I'm going, if it was contaminated in my head, if it was not good up at the top, now you just... And it was still there. And I said to him, I said, well... He goes, well, if it was him, he wouldn't drink it, even though he's drank it, he said. So I didn't have cereal. I had dry cereal for supper. Yeah, so the eating hasn't been the greatest, and the last couple days I've been feeling that eating person coming back, you know, where you just grab whatever and you just eat whatever, and you know you shouldn't because it's going to probably upset you physically, you know, and then eventually mentally. So, but I think that we're human when we do that, right? We can't just all eat perfect all the time. So, and I stayed the same this week for my weight loss journey. So it's okay. It used to really, really bother me in tears, and I've had to learn that, you know, there's worse things in life, and no sense of getting upset about it because all I did was run to food. And I'm trying not to run to food. I think that's why I do all these different starts and everything. And thank you everybody for commenting, and especially to my newest friend who commented from New York. Welcome, my dear. I'm glad to have another fellow crafter and all that stuff. Along with all my friends who've been with me from the get-go, and apparently you have been too, so I really appreciate that. So, because like I've said, I'm not a big channel, and not everybody would do what I do for a handful that it tells me how many views, which, you know, is not a lot sometimes. And sometimes I feel like throwing in the towel because, you know, why am I doing it? But then Mr. Jerry reminds me, he says, but you're doing it for yourself too. You're doing it for that outlet, to just be able to show your crafts or just to chit chat to somebody because you feel like you don't have anybody. So, even if all I do is reach one person, then that's all right. And I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And it does help me. And I just have to know to myself that if there comes a day that I feel like I just cannot record, that it's okay. So, and that's why I went from 7 days a week to 5 days a week, because I need that mental breakdown of not picking up my phone, recording everything, and being able to do things and and be with my hubby and all that stuff without having to pick up the phone. So, but thank you again, my friends, for stopping by. It's been nice. So for all my hugger friends, feel that hug for me. For all my non-hugger friends, here's the smile for you. And y'all have a blessed rest of your day. And hopefully I will see you on Monday, where we can sit back and chit-chat and enjoy each other's time and company. Thanks, my friends.